Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from another double up game that I'm playing with Antisocialmunky. We have synchronized our little legends for dual feather knights and actually synchronized our stages as well. And in this game we're going to be looking at Nomsy again. Yes, I posted a video with the mage version of Nomsy. And in this game, we're going to be looking at the Evoker version of Nomsy. So similar idea. The general feeling is that Nomsy is a little bit overtuned in this patch right now. And apologies for the video cutting out here for a second. This was me setting up the live stream so that I believe we had JDP El Grillo watching in, and I had to alt-tab out for a second in order to stream that to other people who are watching on the Discord. But as I said, this is going to be the Evoker version of Nomsy. And we're going to see a team composition built around playing Nomsy. Nomsy overall is generally considered to be a bit overpowered in this patch. Now, by the time you watch this video, there may have been a B patch that nerfs Nomsy. We were actually checking right now to try to see which version of Nomsy it was. It is not Mage, it is not Cannoneer. That means it has to be Evoker. But in any case, like I said, because Nomsy is so popular right now, I would not be surprised if this unit is nerfed by the time that you watch this video, but this was officially on the first full patch of set 7.5, and Nomsy was quite popular in this. Now, officially, it's really the mage version of Nomsy that's popular. In the overall data for this particular set, the mage Nomsy comp has an average finish rating of like 4.0, which is really, really high for average finish. If you think the average average finish is a 4.5, like if you count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the average finish would be 4.5. Team comps that are above like 4.2 are really, really doing well in the data. And the mage version of Nomsy is at like 4.0, which is a very strong team composition. Now, obviously, it can only be played when Nomsy is a mage, which is only going to happen 1 out of every 3 games. But a lot of people are just hard forcing that comp whenever it pops up, and it's doing quite well. The Evoker version, not nearly as well. I think I looked in the data and the average placement for that was like a 4.8, something like that, which is really not that good. But it is still, it's certainly playable. And the fact that people generally don't play Nomsy when it's the Evoker version can actually be good, because it means that you get an uncontested version of the unit. So anyway, we're going to look to head in that direction in this game. Antisocialmunky is going to play a build that he was testing out in this game. We're actually kind of both testing out builds in this game. He is testing out a reroll Kaisa build. And his conclusion from playing at this game was, it's not very good. So that was kind of his read. He's like, I don't think that this is a very good build. So we're probably not going to be playing that long term. For right now, I am putting my items on Lux, and I will figure out kind of what direction I want to go in later on. But for Antisocial's comp, I'm going to be looking for Kaisa, since he's rerolling for Kaisa. And then the other units, he said, are Jax. And then I believe after that, it's the just 3-star Dragon Mancers, so Lee Sin and Volibear. I will be looking for them later on, but the idea is like to 2-star or 3-star the Kaisa, 3-star Jax, and then, the other unit is Zac. Antisocial said Zac is one of the other units he tries to play in this build. But overall, he said he didn't think this build was very good, so I don't think we're going to be playing that too much afterwards. Anyway, my board is just kind of random nonsense right now. I have mages in, but I'm not really doing much of anything with them. I have like a Lux, and I have, it's like a Lux to Leah Vlad, which is like not a very impressive start. I just have the 3 mages in. I'm like 1 off. And by the way, here I get 2 out of 3 Kaisas early on. This is great because I will want to send Antisocialmunky a 2-star Kaisa to help him 3-star this unit. It ends up being kind of bad, though, because I hit these so early. And I don't hit the 3rd one for ages and ages. I will eventually hit the 3rd Kaisa to get a 2-star Kaisa, but that's going to take a while. And so unfortunately, I end up getting stuck here with multiple Kaisas on my bench. Like, that's 4 gold sitting on my bench doing nothing. That's a pretty big drain on the economy in the early game, but it's 2-player mode. It is important that we try to 3-star this Kaisa. So yeah, I'm just going to be kind of poor in this game because I'm trying to hold units for my partner. I still have no 2-star units on the board. I do have 2 pairs on my bench, 2 Jaxes and 2 Talias. So maybe can potentially get a bit stronger here overall. You will see that there's quite a few people playing Lagoon in this particular game. It's overall quite popular in this patch, just period. People are playing kind of 2 things. Either they play straight Lagoon with Soam as the main carry, or alternately, they play what I think of as kind of like the Seraphine bundle, which is you play Seraphine and then you play her alongside a bunch of units like Pantheon, and you're just basically trying to 3-star Seraphine in order to apply her ultimate onto like a big clump of targets. Oh, it's like Graves and Pantheon are kind of like the units that you play alongside that. Anyway, I have hit a 2-star Malphite. That doesn't really help me that much. I kind of have to wait until level up. I've already pre-leveled to level 5 here. It's unfortunate that I have not found a Skarner, because if I could find Skarner, I could get Astral in and start making some Astral money. It's also a little bit unfortunate that I'm like just off Lagoon, so I'm going to be in like this weird position where I don't have Astral in, don't have Lagoon in, but like almost have both of them in, which is probably not the ideal way to play the early game, but well, it is what it is. As I said, I'm just trying to find my way here until we can find a better unit. We were planning on playing into the Nomsy in this particular game. Yeah, you can see I somewhat miraculously won the first 2 rounds, and then I come up against someone who has an actual board in the 3rd round and just get absolutely slaughtered by them, which is not what I want, but I can't say I'm surprised. My board is really pretty poor quality right now. I am just kind of hanging in here, and I'm going to try to do the best with whatever I can find here. I guess us losing there does have one big benefit, is that we get the increased carousel priority. Now, unfortunately, Antisocial is not able to get that tier. He really needs a tier because he already has 1 tier. He needs a 2nd one for blue buff for Kaisa. It is like her really core item. Although I think he said Spear of Shojin is actually a little bit better than blue buff on Kaisa, which I was not expecting, if I remember that correctly. Anyway, as far as what I'm doing here, though, I am going to grab this sword. I already have a tier. Sword plus tier makes Spear of Shojin, and that actually is Nomsy's most important item. I believe I mentioned that in the previous video that I did on Nomsy, but this is 100% true. Nomsy's mana cost is 90. That mana cost does not change from game to game. The trait that you get from Nomsy does change. Like I said, Evoker, Cannoneer, Mage, but the mana cost of 90 does not change. I also would not be surprised if that mana cost gets nerfed to like 100 or 110 going forward, but at the time this game was played, the mana cost was 90. So mana cost of 90 means you want Spear of Shojin. It's very important because you need to generate more mana, so Nomsy will cast more frequently. It's also a decent item on Lux. Lux's mana cost is 60, so it's like right around the breaking point for Spear of Shojin versus blue buff. I believe Spear of Shojin is a little bit better on Lux than the blue buff, but it's relatively close. You could put either of those items on Lux and she'll be relatively decent. But for Nomsy, it's Spear of Shojin all the way. So I've gone ahead and built that, and then I have this extra rod, and I'll figure out some other item to put on Nomsy. Now, as far as my augment, I should mention what I have managed to take there. I have gone ahead and taken I can't remember what the name of this off the top of my head, but it's the one that allows all of your spells to critically strike. So this is quite nice anytime you're playing a spellcasting comp. It means you don't have to itemize Jeweled Gauntlet, and all of your spells have the innate chance to crit. So I will be looking eventually to try to get an Infinity Edge on my spellcaster. So that's another reason why it was important to take a sword off carousel. I need 2 swords. I need 1 for Spear of Shojin. I need 1 for Infinity Edge down the road. So it's important to get at least 1 sword off carousel, because otherwise I'm really pushing my luck in the hopes of getting double swords off of just the drops from random minion rounds. Here I'm going to hit the Talia 2-star, so I'm starting to get a little bit stronger, and up there is a Nomsy over there on Antisocial's side, so he is going to start holding Nomsys for me with the intention of sending them over, and I told him, just hold on to the Nomsy for right now. I don't think it would be worthwhile to play it until I hit level 6, in part because I don't have any other evokers on my board yet. I've been looking for evokers. I haven't found any yet. And their past self me is highlighting 2 out of 3 Lagoon, 2 out of 3 Astral. This is not where you want to be. You definitely don't want to be 2 out of 3 Lagoon, 2 out of 3 Astral. That's pretty bad. You want to have one of those economic traits in, if possible. As I said, I've been hoping for Skarner to pop up, but alas, I have not managed to see Skarner. So yeah. I'm also been losing these rounds recently. Now, before my board was pretty bad. I actually think my board quality is pretty decent at the moment, and I would, in fact, definitely beat this person, but here comes their partner in, and whoever their partner was hitting looks like they beat them pretty badly, so I've got 2 full boards up against me, and I'm going to lose that round as well. That's better from an economic perspective because it allows me to carry a 3-loss streak into the minion round, but I was feeling a little down that I'd lost this many rounds. I was like, man, I don't think my board is that bad. But I ended up losing once again. We also do have a champion duplicator for antisocial, so that could be useful. Could be used either to try to 3-star one of the units he's trying to 3-star, or it could be used to, I guess, try to 3-star the Nomsy, which is going to be the unit that I'm trying to play through. So this is kind of an experimental game for us. We were both playing team comps we're not super familiar with, but I thought it would just be fun to test out the Nomsy. And so we'll be getting the Nomsy soon enough, but I need to wait a little bit longer. As I said, I want to at least be level 6 before I can look to play the Nomsy. And I get another tier here. And that's quite nice because that means I can make an Archangel staff. And I'm quite happy with that. Shojin plus Archangel is very nice. And then I get a glove. So now I just need a sword if I'm going to try to make a Infinity Edge. Now I just need a sword for Infinity Edge. I also have now found a Nomsy myself, so that means there's no immediate need for Antisocial to send over a Nomsy. We were thinking about doing that here at the start of Stage 3, but then I get a random Nomsy in my store. So I was like, all right, you don't need to send that over. Just hold, and maybe we can send if it'll make like 2-star Nomsy, but for right now, it's better off just holding that unit. Another small detail, I'm going to put the glove on Lux. Normally, I would not commit a glove there, but remember, I have the Jeweled Lotus. That's the name of it. It took me a minute to remember what the name was for that augment. I have Jeweled Lotus, so that means that spells can innately crit. So putting the glove on actually is not bad because it means higher chance for Lux's spells to crit. Otherwise, normally, like I said, I would not commit that item because it wouldn't do anything. But in this situation, it actually does do something. And this is kind of sad. We were just about to finish off the Volibear, but then the Arcing Lightning is going to go ahead and kill Lux. So we need to finish off this Volley. All right, Vlad's on it. Vlad actually critted on his spellcast there. So you see me alt-tab out again. So now we're just up against this very tanky Swain. Swain has like no damage right now, but he does heal for an awful lot when his ult goes off. It's a good thing that this goes into overtime so that the healing is reduced. And with Antisocial's help, I'm going to be able to win that round. All right, second augment choice, and out of these choices, there's actually a really good one here, and that's Thrill the Hunt. Your units heal 700 health on kill. I am typically not a big fan of Thrill the Hunt. I don't think it's a great augment. It's often kind of, as I've said before, a win more augment. Like if you're already winning, it helps you win even harder, but otherwise it doesn't really do all that much for your situation. That said, in this situation, it is good to have because Nomsy really benefits from healing, and this means I'm going to be able to avoid itemizing healing on Nomsy. Here I'm going to toss in the random Zac so I can at least get Lagoon in play because I'm no longer running mages. And then I will put all the items that had been on Lux over onto Nomsy. I talked about this in the previous video that I did for Nomsy, but basically she has short range. Her ability only has a range of 3 hexes, and she also has random targeting. A lot of the various spells in this game, a lot of the various abilities, they will like have some defining feature whereby they will target in one direction versus another. Nomsy just targets randomly. So Nomsy is hard to predict where she's going to go in these fights. And overall, she often ends up getting much closer to the front line than you would actually like to have happen. So Nomsy really benefits from healing. So like, look what happens. Nomsy gets low, but then Nomsy blows up a unit, and then Thrill the Hunt triggers, and Nomsy heals back 700 health on each kill. So this basically allows me to avoid itemizing any healing on Nomsy. So that's why Thrill the Hunt's really good in this particular situation. I'm really playing like a 1-threat comp, and it's going to allow me to not have to worry about putting a Gunblade. Normally, you'd want to put either Gunblade or like Hand of Justice. The Gunblade is usually seen as being better because that way Nomsy can heal your tanks in the front line as well. But in this game, I won't have to do that because I will rely on Thrill the Hunt procs for healing. Always a little bit chancy to do that, but it's the best option I can get here. So even though I'm not a big Thrill fan normally, Thrill the Hunt actually fits really well with what I'm running here. All right, as far as what else I have on this board, I have just a random Silas in there. Silas gets me 2 out of 3 mages. Obviously, that doesn't make 3 mages, but the main reason why Silas is nice is it's just a replacement for the Jax. Jax is probably a better frontliner on his own, honestly, but this allows me to, like I said, get rid of the Jax. And now if I can find a Zyra and put Zyra in, it would make the it would put in Whisper's trait. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and do this. Again, apologies for alt-tabbing out at a couple points in time during this. Hopefully it's not too distracting. I do end up losing that round, though. By the way, Antisocial's already found another Nomsy. And in fact, he's going to be finding an awful lot of Nomsys throughout this game. So we're just going to keep track of how many Nomsys he's found in this game. Right now, I've found 1, and he's found 1 as well. But he is going to be finding more of them, which does make sense because he's going for a reroll build, and he's going to be, I think, right around level 6 for quite some time. So he's going to be right around the point in time where you do find a lot of the 2-cost and 3-cost units. All right, here there's a Zyra on carousel. Again, I said Zyra is a very important unit for me to find because she adds another evoker. She is not going to be a unit I play here, though, because she has gotten me the sword, and that will make Infinity Edge, and I am super happy with these items. I have Infinity Edge, which will give me the crit synergy with the Jeweled Lotus. I have now also found a Seraphine, so I will toss that in for 3 evoker. And by the way, Antisocial just found 2 more Nomsys, so he just sends me a 2-star Nomsy. I was like, okay, well, that works. I hate to have to sell the one I have right here, but there's no other way to get these items on the Nomsy. So I will sell the one I found, which I played for like 2 rounds, and then I will go ahead and put these on Nomsy. So yeah, 2-star Nomsy, definitely going to be a lot stronger. And we're up to 3 Evoker, and we even have Lagoon in, so we're going to get some modest Lagoon benefits here too. That's the only reason why Talia is on the board right now. I might as well keep the 2-star Talia on the board because why not? Is just that I don't have Mage trait in, but she's a 2-star unit. She gives me Lagoon trait, so that's not bad. All right, now the unit that you get when Nomsy is a Evoker is Lulu. So Lulu is back from the first half of the set. I probably played Lulu more than just about any other unit because she was super useful in almost any team composition you would have wanted to run in the first half of the set when she was Trainer plus Mystic plus Evoker. So she does the same thing when her mana bar fills up. She will polymorph enemies or allies. If there's enemies nearby, she polymorphs them, which is a form of crowd control. If there are no enemies nearby, then she will give attack speed to the rest of your team. So again, great support unit, very useful to have on the team. Won't be seeing her a whole lot in this set because only if you're playing Nomsy and only if it's the Evoker version, but it's nice to see her back again from the first half of the set. As for the Evoker trait itself, Evoker has 3 ranks. You can see on the left side of the screen, 2, 3, and 4. Evoker trait generates mana when the unit's cast. So I'll just read the official description. It's very short. Evokers gain mana whenever an ally or enemy casts an ability. So more spellcast means more mana via the Evoker trait. And right now it's 4 mana at rank 2, 6 mana at rank 3, 8 mana at rank 4. So it is actually pretty useful in a mage-heavy meta, which is what we have right now. Mages are popular in the metagame right now because what do mages do? They double cast. What does that do? Generates more mana for evokers. Again, overall, this is seen as being weaker than the mage version of Nomsy. The mage version of Nomsy will cast twice when the mana bar fills up, so that kind of better than the evoker version that only casts once. But in theory, you will cast more often to make up for it with the evoker trait. So again, mage version definitely stronger in the data, and I think just anecdotally, it's the stronger version of the unit as well. By the way, Antisocial's found 2 more Nomsys, so he's already found 5 Nomsys. I found 1. So yeah, he's just cranking out the Nomsys right now. Anyway, so as I said, the mage version of Nomsy definitely seen as being better, but Evoker is not bad either, especially if it's uncontested, which it appears to be in this game, and if you have good augments amplifying it as I do here. All right, now there's another theme for this game, and that theme is going to be Zerat portals. So if you've noticed, I've gotten I have two different belts here, and so what do I want to do with these? Well, good time to make some Zerat portals. If you notice, Antisocial already has double Zerat portals over there on his side as well. And he just found another Nomsy. So he's up to 6 Nomsys right now. So he's just going to look to play that. And what am I going to do? Well, I'm just going to put another Nomsy on the board. Why not? We'll just run double Nomsys right here. So yeah, I'm just going to put them both on here. I thought that was more useful. Now I do lose Lagoon trait for this, but I still think it's better to just run double 2-star Nomsys in here. This does not give me a second Lulu. That would be hilarious if I got another Lulu, but no, it doesn't work that way. But it does give me another unit that can make use of the Evoker trait. Honestly, it's kind of bad to play too many dragons with this setup because it means fewer units that are casting and fewer people that are proccing the Evoker trait. But yeah, I mean, 2-star Nomsy is going to do some pretty good work, even with no items. So I'm okay with playing that. I think it's stronger than anything else I can run. And now I'm going to stay here at level 8 and look to slow roll a bit. This is a build that really wants to 3-star Nomsy. So instead of pushing to level 8 as I would normally do, we want to stay here and look to slow roll a bit. We get our last augment, and it's Prismatic, and I'm going to take Scope Weapons 2. Your units that start in the back 2 rows gain infinite range and additional attack speed. Here I'm going to hit the 2-star Jax, so I'm going to send that over to Antisocial any minute now. There we go, because he is looking to 3-star Jax for his build, so we'll look to get that. And here's the other question. What else do you play in this comp alongside the Nomsy? It's like, what other units are you looking to play here? And really the big answer is just more frontline. You just want like infinite frontline. By the way, we're going to get Goldmancer staff here, which is pretty cool. So I am just going to look to put in this Itis, and now I'm just going to try to get as much frontline as possible. Itis is a good fit for this comp because, you know, you want to be thinking like, what other units are you playing alongside the various evokers? So like you want to get up to 4 evoker. The evoker units, well, I get 2 evokers from having the Lulu and the Nomsys. That gets 2 evokers. I want to play Seraphine, so that gets me 3 evokers. And I want to play Zyra, that gets me 4. And you can get to the late game, you can play Aurelian Soul, who's also an evoker. And that would be quite nice to have as well. But that's not something you can do until late game. So for right now, I'm going to be playing 4 evoker. And it's going to be the Lulu Nomsy combo plus Seraphine plus Zyra. So then what other units fit with Seraphine and with Zyra? Well, it's not bad to play Silas because Silas will put Whisper straight in play. So that's not a bad frontliner to run. And in addition to that, Rakan's a really good unit to run as well because Rakan's going to make the Mystic trait together with Seraphine. And then that also slots in really neatly with Itis because Itis is a Guardian and Rakan is a Guardian. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do here. And by the way, I also managed to hit the 2-star Kaisa. Remember how I said I hit 2 out of 3 early and then I'm just sitting on the rest of those for ages and ages. So that's going to get Antisocial up to, I think, 8 of his Kaisas. And so that's going to get him closer to the 3-star version. But yeah, like I said, I'm really just trying to get as much frontline as possible just to stall for these casts. So I'm going to toss in the Itis, and I'm hoping I can get Itis 2-starred. And I'd also really like to get Rakan, so I'd like to dump the Zac for Rakan. And if I can do that, I will have 4 Evoker, 3 Prodigy, 2 Dragon, 3 Shimmer Scale, 2 Guardian, 2 Mystic. And that should be pretty good frontline. And then I just need everybody to stall for the Nomsy. And then Nomsy should hopefully kill everything. And ideally, Nomsy will be healing off of all of these Thrill the Hunt procs too. So, Nomsy almost manages to get the kill. Look at Nunu's HP. If Nomsy gets that kill, then she will get 700 health back. Well, 350. Her healing was cut by the Sunfire Cape on Nunu. But she would have gotten health back and she would have killed everything. So that's a little bit disappointing. All right, well, it's another time for another carousel here. And again, I'm mostly looking to make more frontline items. So I want to make the Itis stronger. And I want to get more just generic frontline stuff. So if there's nothing else, you can always just make more Zerat portals. So that's a possibility. But I can't remember what I think I end up taking. I end up taking this tier here. Although I think that I think the tier was not the item I wanted. And I think I end up re-rolling this because I'm hoping to get like a Warmogs or something more useful from this, if I remember correctly. Anyway, I hit 2-star Zyra, so that's nice. Now all my evokers are 2-star. I end up getting a Rod, which is not bad. I'm going to use it for Onyx Spark, and I think that's quite good here. Onyx Spark is going to get that magic resistance shred for the other team. And I am going to buy this Itis, aren't I? I'm not going to miss this Itis in the store, am I? Okay, no, I did get the Itis. That's good. And so I'm going to put this Zerat portal on the Rakan. I would certainly like to get that unit 2-starred. By the way, that's 3 Zerat portals on the Zac that Antisocial has. That's a lot of frontline Zerat portals over there. I'm also still holding the Silas's because Silas is probably my next unit in at level 8 because that would then add Whispers, and that would give me another form of armor and MR shred. Anyway, this person has a 2-star Soam, and I don't think Nomsy can quite kill everything fast enough. Maybe if I get just insane Thrill the Hunt procs, but no, it's not enough. And that person's going to dive on me. And you can see that Nomsy as a 2-star is not really that strong. I mean, it's like, obviously it's playable, but it's not that strong overall. So we've just kind of been like pretty mediocre up to this point in time. Antisocial and me, we're like hanging in there, but like we're not really that strong. But we're about to get a lot stronger because he is getting very close to 3-starring. He's getting very close to 3. Oh, he did 3-star Kaisa. He's getting close to 3-starring some of the other units. And look what he found. He found another Nomsy. So yeah, he sent me a 2-star Nomsy, and then he sent me another 2-star Nomsy, and now he's going to send me a third 2-star Nomsy. So he's found 9 Nomsys already. I think I found 2 over the course of the game, and he's found 9. So yeah, and that's why I'm looking to level to 8 here. As soon as I saw him hit that, I was like, all right, well, I can just go to 8 now. There's no reason to stay here at level 7 because this is going to hit 3-star Nomsy. We'll just be able to use the last send on it. It's just hilarious that this was like the gift that kept on giving, and Antisocial sent me 9 of this unit over the course of the game. Anyway, so yeah, we're up against someone who's playing, what is it, Aurelian Soul. I'm hoping that Nomsy will target that. Looks like Nomsy was able to blow up everything else. It's like, all right, can you target the Aurelian Soul in the back lines? I don't need you hitting the frontline tanks. You've kind of hit every unit other than Aurelian Soul thus far. And, oh, wow, is that close? Just barely manages to knock that, hit the early install at the last second. I think that I got the crit from the Jeweled Gauntlets, or the Jeweled Lotus plus Infinity Edge combo, and that was like just barely enough. All right, so now I'm looking to roll here. I was like, Titan's Vow, okay on Itis. I think I can do better. Chalice is very tempting, but I was like, I think I need Frontline here. Like that would be nice, but what I really need is Frontline. More AP on Nomsy is not really needed. What I need is my Frontline not to die instantly. It's not Deathblade. The Rascal's Glove is kind of interesting, but oh, look at this. I get the Radiant Zerat Portal, and then I get a bow that I can make another Zerat Portal. I was like, okay, well, we'll just go ahead and do this. So Zerat Portal, that gets me 2. Radiant version of Zerat Portal, that gets me 3. And then I got an extra random bow that I'll put on Zyra. So, okay, that works for me. So this is like the Zerat Portal game. And guess what? Antisocial is going to get a Radiant Zerat Portal himself. So we're going to have double Radiant Zerat Portals here. And he 3-stars the Zac. So all of those Zerat minions are going to be the strength of a 3-star unit. So yeah. And there we go. There's 3-star Nomsy. Okay, let's go. Let's see it. 4 Evoker, 3-star Nomsy. I go to level 8 and I toss in the Silas just because this will put the Whisper straight in play, and that's going to give me that extra armor and magic resistance shred. So I've kind of made my comp here. I would like to keep rolling until I can hit 2-star Itis. I don't want to go to level 9 until I can at least hit 2-star Itis, but we'll see what we can do there. So yeah, there comes the Radiant Minion. And the Zerat Portals are really, like I said, just there to buy time. Just to buy time for the attacks from Nomsy. So it's like, Nomsy, who are you going to target? Can you maybe hit the Crown of Champions Zoe in the backlines? And boop, there we go. Okay, well, that unit just exploded. And, oh, we barely managed to kill the Graves. So look how close that fight was. Just barely managed to finish that one off. If there is one thing that's good against someone who's running Crown of Champions, is a lot of Zerat minions, because they have to keep killing all the little minions. And the Crown of Champions one-shot takes an awfully long time to do that. I will go ahead and grab the Terra here because, again, what do I need? I need Frontline. I would not mind playing the Terra. Like at level 9, I could take out the Silas, and then I could put in Terra, and that would give me more Frontline. So that's what I just want is the maximum amount of Frontline possible with this team composition. And I will also pick up Seraphines and Rakans in the hopes of getting towards 3-starring them. I should potentially stop here because I did 2-star the Rakan. And that, of course, is valuable for getting additional Zerat minion value. But I really did want to hit one more Itis. I believe I keep rolling here until I hit... I can't remember if I roll here to get the Itis or if I now look to go to level 9. All right, well, we're up against an Alshin, a Dragonmancer Alshin. So that is a pretty strong unit, but oh, it looks like we got some good CC on that. And is that unit even going to get to cast? Well, it's just finally starting, and okay. We're able to blow the unit up before it could actually start casting. So that's pretty good. And as soon as I've hit the 3-star Nomsy, I really have started deleting these teams pretty good. Yep, that Soam's going to get deleted, and that looks pretty good to me. So I should probably just read the official damage on Nomsy. Right now, Nomsy's fireballs, as I said, 90 mana cost. The fireball, when it explodes, deals magic damage to enemies within 1 hex, and then bounces additional fireballs outwards that deal percentage of the damage. Right now at 3-star, the base damage is 480, and then the fireballs that splash out are 40% of that 480. So I guess they're about 200, 220 damage. And of course, that then gets fed through all the various modifiers that I have. I've got the Archangel Staff, which stacks over the course of the fight. The Spear of Shojin. Spear of Shojin also gives some ability power. I think it gives like 10 or something like that. And of course, the big thing is I have Jeweled Lotus as an augment and Infinity Edge, so I should be spell critting pretty much every single time off of this. And yeah, when I hit a big clump of targets, it pretty much just deletes everything. I'm seeing like 1600 popping up on the little numbers there. Yeah, I mean, okay. That poor Deja board just got absolutely exploded once the 3-star Nomsy started casting. Yeah, like I said, I'm seeing like a lot of 1500s, 1300s, 1400 damage. That is an awful lot of damage for Nomsy to be doing because it's not single target; it's area of effect. It's hitting people in a splash area, which is pretty nice. Here there's an Evoker emblem, which is interesting, but I can't even really make that much use of it because I'm already at 4 Evokers. So like +1 Evoker is not really going to do anything for me. And of course it already gets taken anyway, so that's, whatever. The Static Shiv I probably would have taken as well because that would be yet another debuff, another version of MR debuff. But that gets taken. And then here I really wanted the Bramble Vest. The Bramble Vest would have been awesome for Itis. Gets taken. So my only options are a Scalescorn Crest or a Hurricane, and I guess I'll take the Hurricane over that. But this was an item that I kind of whiffed on this, unfortunately. I should also mention that the Shimmer Scale item in this game was Goldmancer Staff. So Goldmancer Staff gives you additional ability power based on how much AP, or excuse me, based on how much gold you have in your bank. Also adds gold if the unit kills the target. So I just have it on Seraphine because even though she's almost never going to kill anything, it's not really going to generate much gold for me. It does mean that she's going to get additional AP, so she's going to be able to, her shielding and healing is going to be a little bit stronger. And I have at least some chance to try to 3-star her. I'm kind of just holding the Seraphines and the Rakans in the hopes that I might be able to 3-star some of them down the road. Remember, Antisocial's taking a lot of 3-cost units out of the pool, so he is re-rolling for Lee Sin 3-star and Volibear 3-star in his Dragonmancer team comp. So, and we already have 3-star Nomsy, so that's like a lot of the units at the 3-cost tier that are coming out of the pool. By the way, this fight is close, but there's a Sunfire on Nomsy, and I just was never quite able to focus down the Sohm. So we are going to end up losing that round, unfortunately. I believe that team is down to 1 HP, though, so that's a good sign for us. No, actually, it's another team that's down at 1 HP. And hey, I guess I'll go ahead and hold the make the 2-star Silas right here. So ASM's finally made his 3-star Jax, and now he can maybe level up. I think he's still level 6. No, he's level 7 now. He just went level 7. He had been level 6. And uh-oh, what's this? This is problematic. Oh, that is, yeah, that's not what we wanted to see. That team has just hit 3-star Sohm. Well, that's not good. And their partner just hit 3-star Yasuo. So this is always one of the very annoying things in double up mode is when a team is down to their last life and they're on 1 HP and then suddenly they manage to spike. We have had a number of games where a team has done that and then suddenly they're just spiked super duper hard and then they end up like surviving and getting like a first or a second that you wouldn't have expected them to get. So that's kind of annoying. But on the plus side, we have done that ourselves too in other games, to be fair. The other good thing is that team is on low HP, so we don't. It's not just about killing the 2-star Sohm. If we can kill their partner, that would also eliminate them. So like, oh, there's 3-star Sohm is still alive. This fight's a total crapshoot. And oh, we actually are going to beat them, but I guess they had enough HP that they were able to survive. So we do knock them down to 1 HP, so they're definitely down to their last life now. I think they got a Soraka ult that gave them a slightly more HP, but we were able to do enough damage to finish them off, or get them down to 1 HP, excuse me, get them down to that last life. So 2 teams at 1 HP, we're at 5 HP. We should be locked into a second place finish here, just based on how low everybody else's health here is. But we really would like to win this if at all possible. I'm up to 5 Seraphines, 5 Rakans. Of course, I cannot be sent any of those units from Antisocial because he used all 3 of his sends to give me 9 Nomsies. And he's actually still holding more Nomsies more than that. I believe he's up to like 12 Nomsies. He was just holding them for fun, which is actually kind of bad from an econ perspective, but I believe he was just holding even more Nomsies like for funsies on his bench. I don't know if I'm going to show his board here any second or not. Well, I am up against either the 9 Shimmer Scale Crown of Champions player, or I am up against the Sohm 3. I actually think I have a much better matchup against the 9 Shimmer Scale player, so I'm kind of hoping that I'm going to get that board. And I'm just trying to position here. The reason why I think I have a good matchup against the 9 Shimmer Scale player is I have the triple Zerat minions, so it's very hard for their Crown of Champions to kill my team. And who do I get? Do I get the Shimmer Scale player? No, I've got Sohm 3-star. Okay, so I was like, don't think I win this, but I guess we'll see what happens. I do get a really nice cast that deletes most of the back lines from Zyra, but that is Sohm 3-star, so yeah, it's pretty rough. Can I kill the Sohm? Oh, he's so low! Oh! Sohm at 100 HP. Oh, man, that was close. Got him down to 100 HP, so very, very close. And now ASM is up against the 9 Shimmer Scale player. So he is doing his best here, but I don't think his board is quite as well set up to deal with this because his 3-star Kaisa does not really have the same amount of backline access that my board does. So it turns out that one of the teams is going to get eliminated, but it's not the team that... Is it the team with the 3-star Sohm? I can't remember. I'd have to scout the other boards. Well, at least one team's out of the game, although we suffered a double loss, so we go down to just 15 HP. Here we get the item drop for stage 6-2. And by the way, there's another Rakan, so I'm at 7 Rakans now. And I was like, I think, do I want to play, what unit do I want to play here? Do I want to play the Terra? Do I play a second Rakan? I was like, I guess I'll put in another Rakan here or something. And then I go ahead and put this on the Seraphine. So I'm like, is this better? Who am I going to be up against? I'm up against either... Oh, it looks like we did knock out the Sohm 3-star player. It looks like someone else was able to knock them out. So once again, I'm up against either 9 Shimmer Scale, or alternately, I'm up against Their partner. I don't know what their partner's running. So, by the way, one other thing I should mention, I did take that Prismatic Augment, Scope Weapons 2, and that gives Nomsy infinite range. So look at this. Nomsy just cast the backline, and oh, well, so much for your Zoe 2-star with Crown of Champions. That is something that would never happen normally, because normally Nomsy only has 3 range. Normally, Nomsy's a pretty short-range target. So I get very lucky there in the sense that Nomsy, just for no apparent reason, decided to take out the Zoe in the back lines. By the way, this team has 8 Bards. I'm not exactly sure what Bard 3-star does, but we would definitely prefer to not see what happens against Bard 3-star. And the good news is they get knocked out. So, woo! Okay, 9 Shimmer Scale with 8 Bards. I'm glad they did not manage to hit the Bard 3-star. That's something that I think we're pretty pleased that they did not end up getting. So now I get to send an item back to Antisocial Monkey, and we're just going to see what he wants here. And I believe after this is done, I decide I'll go ahead and play the Terra, because playing Terra is probably better than playing the Silas. And he eventually takes hand to oh, and the other thing was there was a second Terra. So I was like, oh, 2 out of 3 Terras. Okay. So I think I should play that. I'm going to give up on the Seraphine 3-star. And now I'm going to look to put this unit in. I have double Rakans on my board, so I don't think I need double Rakans. So this does give up Whisper's trait, but as I said, I'm really just looking for more frontline protection. So this should make my team tankier. If I can manage to hit one more of these Terras or one more Itis, I'll have a much tankier front line. So I'll look to roll for that afterwards. But actually, this board does not really look all that strong. They do have this double Cavalier emblem in their Mirage board, but the Nomsy just deals so much damage. Yeah, Nunu getting blown up, and now if we can just manage to get over to that Deja. Rakan hasn't even had his Zerat Pyramid popped yet. There they go. So now the double Zerat minions are going to pop out. And yeah, it's just too much frontline to get through. So I'm going to win my round, and then I'm going to hop over to ASM's board. And it looks like we're going to lose this. I mean, most of that Lagoon board is alive, but oh, I still have Nomsy alive. And Antisocial still has Kaisa alive. So between the two of us, yeah, oh, look, the whole board just died. So we're going to win both sides of the fight. I think Nomsy did like 20,000 damage across the 2 sides of the fight. And that is going to be a victory. So we managed to take first place in a very tight lobby. This one was pretty close. But it was a super fun game. I definitely enjoyed showing that off. Again, kudos to Antisocial for finding so many versions of Nomsy. He sent me 9 Nomsys in this game, and I believe he found 13 over the course of the game. The other big conclusion was he said, do not do this Kaisa reroll build. He said it was not very good, so he's going to have to do a different reroll build next time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Until next time, hope you guys are having a good week. Take care, folks.